Welcome. We are alive and well, thankfully. Let me share my screen. Cool. For those who aren't here, let me know if you can hear me. Welcome. For those just coming in, if anybody is in here on YouTube from my Discord, just join the Discord so you can actually talk to me. But you're more than welcome to join here. All right, let's get this pulled up. Also, for those, hey Maya, you can just join in the Discord channel if you want instead of the YouTube channel, whatever works best for you. Tomorrow is the 30th. All right. ES with a potential super dirty looking W on the 4 hour. I'm here for it. NQ basically has the same setup. Definitely looks like it'll be a bullish Monday. But as always, we'll see what the market wants to give us. YM has the same setup too. Kind of. Ooh. RTY with a potential W on the 4 hour. Nice. Welcome, Anthony. If there's any tickers you want me to add to the watch list, hey Mariah, if there's any tickers you want me to add to the watch list, just let me know in the chat, or you can come off mute. When I finish up with NVIDIA, I'll look for some swing trades. We're on QQQ now. Yeah, pretty much everything has the exact same setup for tomorrow. We're either going to make a gigantic H to the bottom, or we're going to make a gigantic W and head back up here, back to the 437 area. Or, yeah, 437 area for Dow Jones. I might have to play Tesla tomorrow. I usually don't like trading it on Mondays, as long as we don't gap up. Because if we gap up, then I can't really do anything with the setup that I want to take on the 4 hour. Definitely looks good, though, to the upside, potentially. We'll see if we trigger bullish tomorrow instead of bearish, like Friday. Or we'll just continue, head down and complete that H pattern or bearish TTO. NVIDIA, I'm actually trading this instead of Tesla because Tesla's more than likely going to gap up as it always does. Huh. Yeah, NVIDIA looks good for the W retracement to the upside. And we'll head back to 141 area. That'll be nice. And make a note before I forget. All right. The main stocks are done. Let's look for some swing trades. Whatever you guys want added to the list, just let me know. Is there a video on Discord or just audio? Great question. I just realized that I wasn't sharing my screen on Discord. There we go. My bad. That's what happens when you get 2 flights within 24 hours and you don't sleep that well. To answer your question, Buster, now there is a video on Discord. I saw you in the chat earlier, so you're more than welcome to come back in. YouTube is delayed by like 4 seconds, 4 seconds. Anyway, Anthony Mariah, hopefully you can see my screen now. My bad. All right, let's keep it going. Could you draw the W on the chart for NVIDIA? I'm not seeing it. I got you. It's not a clean one, as we would prefer, but it's pretty much right here. So this is the top left of the W. Come back up, then you come back down, make the higher low, and then you come back up and complete the W once it breaks that high. Let's see if the line chart makes it easier to spot. Yeah, you have it right here. That's the W. And then we're printing the retracement setup right now. When it comes down and retest the center of the W area, if it's valid, it's going to head back up, break this high, and head higher, aiming for these highs over here. So let's see what we get tomorrow. Let me know if that cleared up, people. Also, none of this is financial advice. Please do your research before you engage in trading. It is risky. These are just my ideas. And I'm not a financial advisor and all that other good stuff. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, nah, yeah. The W already panned out on last week, I think Thursday and Friday. Right now, we're just in the retracement. So if you miss the initial move, you can catch that retracement setup instead. Assuming it doesn't gap up, which I really hope it doesn't, because those setups are really rare to happen on the higher time frames. And I like to take advantage when they do print. All right, so nothing on the 4-hour. What do we got? CVS again? I'm okay with this. Interesting. I might get back in on CVS. From the other swing that we had mapped out a week or two ago, it finally hit on Thursday. Got in on this 2-1-2 up bullish reversal, and it hit almost 3 of our targets. Yeah, almost 4 of our targets. It did hit 3, so that was a nice trade. It was supposed to be a swing trade, but it ended up trading a lot sooner than I wanted. So I just took it off the same day since it pulled back more than I would wanted it to have. I can't even speak English anymore. It pulled back more than I wanted, and it came back to entry. So I don't let it go red. Welcome for those who just came in on YouTube. Whatever you want me to add to the watch list, let me know. All right, so let's re-add CVS. $45.06. There's a monthly broadening information or a quarterly broadening information here that it keeps on bouncing off of. I have it drawn on Thinkorswim, which I'll show in a bit. Where is my TOS? And we have a doji printing at the bottom of the week. This should be good. Yeah, we keep on bouncing above this. Was it quarterly? Should be the quarter. Or the weekly one. We actually bounced off the quarter last week. There you go. Now we're bouncing off a weekly BF. Definitely love it. I'll be looking at it again to trade. All right, let's see what else we got. DJT. I don't really care to trade it, but somebody wanted me to add it last week, so I'll add it again. Might be a pivot machine gun to the bottom side. If it triggers short, it'll take all these lows out, so be mindful. Upside down W. Yeah. Actually might be printing a head and shoulder pattern. And if we get that drop tomorrow, it can complete the, I don't even know what they call it, the left arm, I guess. Yeah, not necessarily an M, because an M is just the opposite of a W. So the W is, the low of day, retracement, higher low, and then a movement back up. The M is just in the opposite. So it'll just be high of day, comes back and retraces, makes a lower high, and then it keeps on going back down. At least the version that I would prefer anyway. This is more of just like a head and shoulder pattern where you get like a big move up, comes back down, heads higher, and then it rejects near the left shoulder and then dies back down. This is what we have here, potentially. We'll see what happens tomorrow. What else? Nothing else for the inside day. Let's check double inside day. Nothing good. Double inside week, which would be rare. Nothing that I would trade. Inside week, maybe. AMD has an inside week and Amazon. I'm going to add AMD for Profit P since he loves trading it. I think he's in it right now too. Let me put the weekly. Whoops! Don't send the watch list yet. I'll do top down. So long above, short below. Let's go to AMD. Nice bounce area. Yeah, he's gonna be happy when I post this. I guess if somebody wanted, they can get in a little earlier on the daily. Just have to break that high from last week to the reverse on the weekly time frame. What else? Amazon. Setup on Amazon is all right. I don't really care for it, but I'll add it since some people trade it. Friendly reminder for those who are watching this and that they are not in my group, the lifetime one-time payment of $24.50 ends at the end of the month. So if you did want to join, it's only $24.50 if you use the code December24 at checkout. If not, if you get in after the week is done or after the year is done, we're going to be moving over to a subscription model. So you'll be paying monthly. Whoever's already in the group, if you're already in here, you will never pay again. So if you want to take advantage, now's the time. All right, let's see what else we got. Baba, let's see if it gives me another setup because last time it freaking gapped up. Ooh, I like this one. Welcome, Five. One thing to know about China stocks is that they are very prone to political and international news. So be mindful of that. Do I do these every Sunday? Yes, every Sunday. Usually around 10 a.m., but I'll probably do them around 11 a.m. Eastern time just because the people on the West Coast can also join us. I used to do it at 9 a.m., but that's 6 a.m. for them. So I'll probably just do them at 11 a.m. just to make sure everybody can join. If there's anything you want me to add to the watch list, just let me know. Let's move that over. Can I do SPY? Yeah, Mariah, SPY is already on the watch list. So if you go to the daily watch list channel, the indices will always be there. So SPY, QQQ, IWM, Dow Jones, all of that. And the futures counterpart for those who trade futures. Those will always be on the watch list permanently. Of course. All right. So we have BABA. This was the old trade that gapped up annoyingly. All right, so Amazon's done. We already added BABA. Let's see what else. AI, somebody was telling me about that. Let's see if there's anything good on it. Could be a bullish TTO on the weekly time frame. I'll add it just off principle. I don't like those wicks on the top, but you know. All right, let's see what else. I'm more interested in looking at the trader views for the week, since for now I pretty much exclusively trade futures. Yeah, my watch list is pretty simple. I'll probably be here for like a maximum of 20 minutes. I'm just usually here a little longer when I talk to you guys. If you want to look at the trader views that we've had throughout the week, go to the educational center and go to Zoom training replays. And we have the trade recaps 2-3 times a week that I post the recordings here. For those that are watching this on YouTube, these are private, so you can only access these through the group. And it also has the weekly performance that we've been adding. We started that 2 weeks ago, 5. So all the videos are in the Zoom training replays channel in the educational center that you can check out. All right, what else we got? I guess that's it for now for the weekly inside bar. Let's do 3 ones on the daily. Nothing that I like there. Already have Amazon, Peloton. I will never forget the day that I went to ask Siri something on my phone and it said buy Peloton, or it just said Peloton. And then I looked at the chart and there was an incredible bullish setup and I didn't get in it and it ripped like 20 points the next day. Yeah, these wicks are disgusting. I'm not going to add that to the list. No, five. You're already in the group. You're in here forever. So you're good. If you're in the group, if you're in the Discord, you get access to everything that's in the Discord besides the mentorship chat. Other than that, everything that's in here, you have access to. I'm just also streaming on YouTube. So whoever is like watching from YouTube, just letting them know that the specific classes that we have in here are only private in the group. So even though I upload it to YouTube, I upload those classes privately, so you can only get the link if you're in the group. If you're in the group, you have access to it already. Of course. I'm actually going to put a post later to have everybody do like a little exercise. So pretty much get a sheet of paper, write down where you are right now in your trading career or in your life or both. And then another sheet of paper or the same sheet of paper, you can just divide it in half and just write down where you want to be in your trading career or in your life. And at least 2 or 3 things that you're going to do to reach that goal, you know, beginning preferably today, but beginning next year. And yeah, you know, definitely take advantage of the stuff that's in the Discord. I've had somebody come to me and she said, hey, thanks for everything. I never had one session with her. She said, thanks for everything. I've been coming to all the classes and looking at all the information on your YouTube and in the Discord, and I trade full time now. So you can be a full-time trader from what I have in the group and in the YouTube channel. She's got to put in the time to study. And she's never, ever booked a session with me, not even once. She just showed up to every single class and asked questions that I have free for you guys in the group. So definitely take advantage. Let's see. Anything else I want to add to the list? I'll probably leave it at that. It's a pretty good list for some swings and day trades. Let's check some news. Chicago PMI. Welcome, Kia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Markets close on Wednesday, which is nice. Cool. That's pretty much it. No crazy news. Let me get this prerequisite so people know what contracts I'm looking at. There we go. The man himself came to bless us with his presence. Is it worth trading the week of New Year with the market close on Wednesday? That's really up to you. I'm not going to take any more futures trades this year. I'll probably open up some swings because there's some really good ones set up for next week that I want to take advantage of. But I'm probably just going to relax until after the New Year's and start actively day trading again. I know some people just last week was the last week for the year and they're going to come back on Thursday. Man, this Discord has been one of the most stable things in my learning trading journey over the past year or two. If I go back in time, I'd say stop doing other stuff and just focus on the resources and community here. So I agree with what the other person said. Sweet. I'm glad you feel that way, 5. I would greatly appreciate it if you left that review. You can literally just copy paste that and put it on the WAP channel. If you don't have the link to leave the review, just check in the announcements section. I left steps on how you can leave it. I would greatly appreciate that. All right. Anything else you guys want me to add to the list? Because I'm pretty much done with what I want to add to it. Whatever you guys want me to look at, I'll add it to it. Just let me know.
Yeah, let's look at Coinbase real quick, bro.
Coinbase. Good morning.
I was looking at the 4 hour has a an inside candle.
The weekly has an inside candle too. Let me add that.
Right. I was saying break above 267.99 for a potential call.
I'll check Bitcoin too, because I always reference Bitcoin when I'm looking at Bitcoin stocks, since they're going to follow Bitcoin for the most part. But let's see. Let me write Coinbase in real quick. 284. This is on the weekly, so the numbers are going to be a little different. What's that? 2-1 on the weekly.
Also,
you said the 4 hour, right?
Huh?
You said the 4 hour, right, on Coinbase?
Yeah, 4 hour, yeah.
Ooh, I like this.
And Meta also has an inside candle on the week and the 4 hour too.
Is that 267.99? Oh yeah, I'll definitely add Meta as well. Short below 263.90. 2-1 on 4 hour. Oops, that's not the 4 hour. And Meta. Yeah, it looks like a lot of things have the exact same setup. We have a this is a beautiful looking W on Meta if we trigger to the upside. I just pray for you guys, whoever takes it, that it doesn't gap up, that it opens up as an inside bar. Because if it gaps up, me personally, I wouldn't touch it unless the TTO prints on the lower time frames to get in, like on the 5 or 15 minute. But this will be real nice. And then you head back up to 625. My first target. Yeah, my first target will be the center, and then of course up here for the second target. Like NVIDIA already completed its W on, I think, on the 4 hour? No, on the daily. So the W already finished on NVIDIA when it broke this high. Now we're tracing. If it breaks to the upside, I'll be aiming for these highs over here. And then, over here as well.
The last one on my list, I'm looking at MSTR on the weekly and the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, we have a 3-1 setup, and on the weekly, we also have a 3-1 setup.
Not bad. Tesla. Was this the 4 hour? Microsoft.
What's that? MicroStrategy Incorporated.
Yep, I sold some puts on them the other week.
Yeah, I got them puts on Friday.
Well, specifically, I sold puts to collect the premium when it was rocketing up, because the premium was like 300% IV. I'm like, I'm gonna take advantage. Or MSTU, not MSTR. It was like, I think the collateral was like 10,000 and the premium was like 2,500.
Right.
Thing was crazy. Easy money.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like the setup on MicroStrategy though. I think the 1 hour time frame, that looks like a inside hammer. But maybe the body of that candle needed to be a little bit more smaller for the confirmation.
Let's check it out. Oh yeah, this is literally like, well, the only thing that I don't like is this like weird, like it's almost like an M that printed. I would want it to just be up, down, and then then it reverses, but this can be acceptable. And it has a hammer on the bottom with a higher low if it reverses to the upside. And hold on, what's the prices? Oh, it's like it's off by 9 cents. I wouldn't really count it. But yeah, as long as it doesn't gap up, you can aim for these previous highs. ATR is $37.
Check the 1 hour.
So this is the 4 hour. Yeah, this can definitely hit the 4 hour first target based on its ATR. The 1 hour, yeah, this is pretty much. I wouldn't consider a Momo hammer because I would want it to be like on an uptrend where we're like print candles and then the hammer prints and then continues heading higher. But this is definitely a good one.
And the week.
Weekly is the disgusting looking TTO, a bullish one or potential TTO that formed. Let's see if it actually triggers the TTO. All right, what we got? Long above, short below. 3390. 323.
You know which kick I've been loving these days, man? Netflix. Man.
It's actually funny. Somebody told me to look at Netflix. I'm like, how is Netflix over $900?
Bro, look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour.
4 hour looks good. 1 hour. All right, so the 1 hour has a potential pivot machine gun. So if it breaks the downside, it could probably take out all these lows. What's the ATR? $20?
Yeah, 2046.
Yeah, it can take all that out in one day.
Right, because Friday moved $24.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So we got that high. It closed above the 38. Maybe they touch the 50 and then kill it back down. But we'll see what tomorrow brings.
You know, there was something I was looking at, right? Where since we use the strategy strap to trade.
Mm-hmm.
So most people will look at the inside candle and see the break above and only watch that. I also think it's very important to also watch to see if it will break below that same inside candle too, because it's still valid. Mm-hmm. That's something I've been paying attention to.
Oh, 100%. Especially on Tesla. So I've been trading Tesla for a while now. And you'll notice, for the most part, it'll print two to three 3 candles on the 4 hour. It loves to do that. Tesla has 2 days or 3 days that it does well. 1 day that it doesn't really do anything, and then 1 day that it goes absolutely crazy in either direction.
Right. So like that inside candle right there, the inside 2-1. Mm-hmm. No, in the middle.
Oh, this one over here?
Down some.
This one?
The other one. This one. Other one over here. That one right here. So you see how that 3 candle after broke the top? Yep. So that's a potential trade right there to the upside, and then it broke the bottom also. So that's also another potential trade. Mm-hmm. If you watch the inside candle, don't just watch from one side. If you get one side, then that's cool. But the trade is still valid both ways if you still pay attention to that inside candle.
100%. I'll trade both sides too, because a three candle is a 3 candle is a what's the word? A 3 candle in and of itself is a setup, like a 3 up or a 3 down. So you can take that by itself.
Right.
5 skin. If you don't see it there, I'll probably just send you a code so you can like re-sign up, and then you just have to wait 24 hours. It'll be free, obviously, because you're already in here. But yeah, if you don't see it, let me know. On the bottom left where it says all WAPs. If it's not there, I'll DM you a code in a bit when we're done here. But yeah, also the 3 candles you can definitely take in and of themselves. They're great setups.
I was also looking at Kava. Kava has an inside candle on the 4 hour.
It completed that H to the downside on Friday once it broke that low.
Right. And it has that gap right up there back to 116.35. I mean, it's looking very bearish right now. But if we could gap up, then I feel like that would be a valid trade.
Definitely bearish. Uh,
Very
a bigger
right,
picture. Uh, yeah, as a day trade, I'll take it as a potential long. If you're gonna swing it, I like the weekly to at least be a specific section.
right.
If I'm gonna swing it, unless it's like a reverse off of broader information, which I'm more inclined to counter trend trade.
Right. Which other stock was I looking at? Boeing on the 4 hour has a 3-1.
Boeing,
Yeah.
bro, Boeing is on my ban list.
Damn.
I'm not ever trading Boeing again. Even though it was the first stock that I ever traded, I will never
Right.
trade it again. That's just me being a baby because I got burned by it doing stupid stuff a long time ago.
It's understandable, man. I was looking at the yearly time frame because I was wondering how it took such a hard hit.
There was a lot of bad news for it, like with the planes getting messed up, and then people getting, or not people getting, you know, but people disappearing.
Right. Yeah.
Man, that
But
monthly would have been real nice off that hammer.
I'm telling you,
Oh, look,
man.
bro, look, there's a freaking W right here on the monthly with the higher low. You could have taken that to the upside.
For a nice swing.
Yep, a real nice one. 20, and then it completed up here 40 points. Only took 2 weeks.
And that's the thing with trading. I got to realize like, okay, the setups are there, but in order to really be profitable, you gotta really understand the type of trader you are. You know what I mean? And you gotta have patience and you need to buy time. Because you might see a setup and it might not play out that same second, day, or even week. You might need a month. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean the setup is not valid. And these are some small things that I've learned since I've been in the market space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's really just patient, especially if you're trading options, because
Right.
the same setups are going to appear on all the time frames. It just takes longer to print on the higher ones compared to the lower ones.
Because it's more time. It's a smaller time frame going to print them very fast because it's printing them in a smaller cap to cap time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Anthony, are you watching on YouTube? Because I see you posted in the chat, but I don't see you in the Discord channel. But yeah.
AMD weekly. I'm watching AMD on the week too because that inside candle on the week is a great setup to the upside.
Yeah, I added AMD to the watches already. Looks good to keep on heading up.
Yeah. But we could reject probably around 133 though.
Yeah, I don't have my broader information drawn on it, so I'm not sure where there may be potential
rejection.
Yeah. I think I drew them on Thinkorswim. I'm probably wrong. I'll have to spend some time doing it again. Anthony, you're trying to break the mindset of what you learned in the past. What specifically? Like, what type of mindset? Welcome, Carmel. Oh no, my chart, the broader informations are slowing it up. There we go. Yeah, look at Friday, right? For YM. And I think it printed on everything on NQ, ES, YM, RTY. We had a W that printed on YM in the first half of the day, which I'm upset because I was traveling and I don't like to trade when I'm in the airplane because that's a disaster waiting to happen if my internet goes out. The first target hit 100 points. That's over 500, well, almost 500, like 108 points, but that's over $500 per contract. And then it printed another one down here From the first target, that's about 60 points. That's what, $300. When it completed the W, which could either be at these highs or even all the way up here, if you aimed up here, that's $1,000 per contract, or down here, same thing, $500. So Friday was definitely a money printer. I'm definitely jealous of whoever took it. Just let me hold the dollar.
Just the dollar, man.
And like I said, these setups print on the ETFs if you guys trade options. Like, look at IWM, it didn't hit the first target. This would have been a loss for me. Actually, one thing to note, it wouldn't have been a loss because the W, it should only keep on going two up until it hits the center. If it reverses, I'm getting out of that trade with whatever it's given me. Because if it reverses, to me, it's no longer valid.
All right.
Let's check QQQ. Yeah, QQQ, first half of the day, right over here, you've got on there's 312 up, hit the first target. Technically, you could have gotten in on this 212 up right here. It just looks a little unclean, so I wouldn't have taken it. But you could have gotten in here, 519, and rolled it up about $2 or so. Whoever trades SPY, you would have gotten in at 592 or 593, 594.60-ish. So on this 312 up to the upside. Probably would have gotten stopped out. Let me zoom in a bit, actually, because
I have a question. When you're trading any, like, let's say you're trading NVIDIA, QQQ, AMD, are you going back and watching what SPY is doing? Like, is that a big factor for you when you're trading, or you just trading?
Absolutely not. I just look at the ticker because I used to do that. Like, let me look at SPY, then let me look at Apple or NVIDIA or whatever. To me, that just added too much of like a headache, and like it's just too much to do.
Right.
And I like to keep trading simple, and just adding, like, people like, oh, I look at SPY in the VIX.
Right. So you're just submitting to your trade ID and that's it.
Pretty much. I could be wrong, and I probably am, which is okay. This is just what I think. I think that it's useless to look at SPY and the VIX to determine if you're going to take a trade on SPY. Because if the VIX is going to go bearish, SPY is going to have a bullish setup. So it's just adding more noise that's unnecessary. Like, oh, if the VIX goes bearish, I'm going to go long on SPY. But the SPY is printing a long setup. So, like, what's the point? That's just how I see it anyway. Again, if it works for you, don't listen to me. Keep on doing whatever works. But to me, that's just adding unnecessary stuff.
Because I find it to be pretty time consuming to keep going back to check SPY and keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's just too much. I feel like doing the homework, like it's Sunday, we're on the chart right now, we're on a call, and we are looking for a break of a certain price.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I have to go back to SPY when I already have my target? You know what I mean? Like, for what?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
And some people will look at SPY to trade Apple, but I'm like, Apple is a major holding of SPY. Apple is moving SPY, not the other way around, from how I understand it. So just trade Apple if you're going to trade Apple. I don't see why you need to look at SPY too. Sure, to be fair, it'll give you extra confluence if SPY is also doing what Apple is doing in X, Y, and Z. But I just like to keep it simple. Like, literally how you see my chart right now with the 4 charts, that's how I trade every day. And that's
some days you see SPY bullish and then NVIDIA is holding or is still falling. It's like at that point it becomes very confusing because it's like some days you might see SPY push and then every other ticker push with it, but I don't think that's the base of trading, to be honest. It's like, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, ultimately just do whatever works for you. That's what I say.
Okay. So I'm loading up my futures account again, man. So I'm about to put a certain amount in.
Sweet. Yeah. Welcome back to the No Theta gang.
Young money did me dirty, man.
Oh, word. We're gonna talk about that offline because I got to see exactly what happened. And the setups that you took. If you were taking those news trades like I told you to avoid, that's why I knew it. You can't trade news, bro. That thing is gonna cook you. That's why I
But you
kept
know
on
what?
saying, I hope it doesn't work the first time, because I know if it does, he's going to be hyped and he's going to keep on doing it, and then it's going to burn him. And here
You know
we
what?
are.
It did work the first time. I got a quick $400 in like 10 seconds.
Uh-huh. And the same when you got that 500 could do the exact opposite.
Right. So like I said, now with the educational part, just showing up every single day, just just being in the community, um, doing my own due diligence on my own times, being on the charts. There's a lot of stuff that you're gonna see that is very repetitive. You're gonna have to practice these things in live and paper to control the emotional part of trading. And I think I kind of got that to a point where I'm able to take trades. I just feel like for the most part now it's the execution. It's you might know what you're doing and what you're seeing, but to execute you might be a little iffy about it. That's the only thing I'm working on right now.
Yeah,
To be
definitely
honest.
keep on refining it. Since you and I first spoke, what, like a year or two ago, something like that?
Yeah, 2 years ago,
You
yeah,
definitely come a long way. I'll tell you that. So great job.
for sure. It's the small conversations, man. That, and again, showing up. That's the most important part. You have to show up.
Yep.
I don't care what you got going on. If you're a trader, part time, full time, you have to do your homework. Just like these athletes, they have to go to practice. You got to practice. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
And just show up to the game and play and think you're gonna be on your best. You know what I mean? You got to practice, bro.
This is why I love, like, when I go on Reddit and people are like, trading is a scam, or trading is stupid. It doesn't work. Anybody who's saying that it does work is a scammer. And then I ask them these questions. I'm like, what are your risk management guidelines? What are your setups? And what's your list of rules? Crickets. Don't say anything. So I'm like, basically, you were gambling for the last year and lost all your money, and then you wonder why it didn't work for you. It's like, that's like if I
Right.
open up a restaurant and let's say, for the sake of the conversation, in a place that people prefer steak, and I'm selling, I don't know, fish.
Strong.
And it's like, why is my business failing? It's like, you didn't do your research on the area and what people want. So it's
Right.
like the same thing with trading and any other business that you do. You need to put in the proper time and approach it properly.
Right.
So,
For example, uh, today it's like I met you 2 years ago. I mean, and since I've been in an option chat, you always heard about Greeks and how important it is to stock options with time decay and the profit of moving a dollar per the delta. Today's the first. I'm telling you, today's the first day since I started 2 years ago that I understood how Greeks work, and it's okay because now I understand it. But it took me 2 years, and for somebody else, it might have took them a day or 2 days. But for me, it took me 2 years. But you know what I mean? It's just the mindset and just showing up that really matters. Everything will eventually fall in place.
100% it will. And that's really what it is, right? Like with any skill, you go to college, you're not going to be a surgeon in one day. You're going to be a surgeon, and maybe after 4 years, plus your residency and everything else that you have to do. So,
Right.
like you mentioned, yeah, definitely show up. Also, Anthony, can you give me some insight on what you mentioned, where you said mindset of following, not leading? I didn't really understand that part. And price action, the strat has been like the greatest thing I've ever learned for price action, because my first mentor was like, yeah, price action and this and that. But I'm like, what does it mean? Like, what does it look like? And like, he would tell me, but I still would never really get it until I discovered the strat. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculously simple now. So shout out to the strat. Shout out to Rob Smith. Rest in peace. Good man. I wish I met him.
I feel like for Anthony, I don't think he needs to follow anyone. I feel like he needs to like find his niche in this whole market space. You know what I'm saying? It's about finding your own comfort, man. Because I remember when I was in a 100K group chat, and remember what you told me? Close the noise out.
Yeah, you got to get out. You got to stay off the group when you're trading because
Bro,
you can get
that's the
distracted.
best advice you probably ever gave me, man. Close the noise out. Go learn on your own. Take the information, read it, look at it, watch the videos, but close it out and go and close the noise. Because it's 1,000 people with different perspective of the market. It's going to become very confusing. You can't really solely depend on a group of people to lead you in any direction. If you're gonna find a mentor, that's a whole different situation. It's one-on-one. He's teaching you the things he know. Cool. But when you have 100 people with 100 different tickers and what they're trading and the time they're trading, man, yeah, you're gonna blow your account because you're gonna try to be everywhere with them. It's not good.
100%. Gotcha, Anthony. Yeah, so Anthony, definitely. Well, obviously, since you're working with me directly now, we can lock in and get you where you need to be. But yeah, like T just mentioned, what I find is that when people like are studying from like this YouTuber or like this YouTuber and then like this mentor and that mentor, but they have like different styles, it can be confusing. So I always like encourage people to just focus on one thing for now, right? Learn from this person. Like I've had maybe like 6 or 7 trading mentors, and they all taught me different things. And then from everything that I've learned from all of them, I put it together with what works best for me. So, but it's best to work with one thing at a time, because if you try to do like 3 things at the same time, like one of my students, he's like, hey, I see you guys talking about ICT. Should I learn that and the strat together? I'm like, absolutely not, because the strat and ICT are 2 very different strategies and the entries are very different. So it's better to learn the strat first, in my opinion, because it's really just basic price action. And then you can learn ICT if you choose to. It's not mandatory or you don't necessarily need it, but there's some good concepts from ICT that I find helpful, at least in my experience.
And if you want to trade ICT, trade ICT doing what he's doing, which is futures. It's only going to work as best at it as it needs to with the market space he's trading in. As futures. ICT don't really believe in a lot of things.
You can trade it on like pretty much anything that has a chart. Like I know ICT Curry, he literally trades ICT on everything, crypto, options, all of that, and it works because again, it's just based on price action ultimately, right? As long as it has a chart, you can trade it. You just have to.
I learned. Sorry to cut you off, brother. I learned about volume imbalance from ICT and how effective volume balance is. Trading stock options is ridiculous. All right, it is crazy. When you really pay attention to how volume imbalance pushes stock prices to the next direction, you're gonna be blown away, bro. When I figured out like to trade and use volume imbalances, well, for the past 2 months I've been practicing it, bro. Like the payouts is crazy. So, ICT is more for liquidity, fair value gap, and drawing liquidity and inefficiency, stuff like that. Yeah, it still is the same thing, and like you said, in the market space, because
yeah, definitely have to. Your connection dropped out. Pascal, I put it in the chat, but I'm also going to put it in the community tab. If you're not in my group, to see the watch list there, so you can see the whole watch list when we post it. But we'll leave it there for now for the watch list, because there's a ridiculous amount of tickers, which is fine. I appreciate you guys for giving me tickers to add besides the ones that I usually put in there. But yeah, ICT definitely has some good concepts for those who are like, oh, but he sucks at trading and this and that. Honestly, I wouldn't even bother getting caught up in the drama of ICT. Just learn the concepts because they work. It's really just zoning in and not getting distracted with all the noise. Every time I go on Reddit, oh, ICT, he can't even trade himself. I'm like, who cares what he's doing? If it's working for you or other people, then just do that. You know, just my 2 cents on the matter. Oh, Carmel, just saw your message. You trade futures, been trading for 2.5 years with 1.5 of that of just calls from other discords. You've been working on self-study and trading independently for the last year. You want to conquer the psychological obstacles and leave your 9 to 5. Definitely doable. Your struggle is that you've passed prop firm challenge, became funded many times. I yet to hold into the account long enough to take my first payout. Revenge trading, greed, and FOMO on the biggest battles. I am definitely glad that you mentioned those things. Even though she stepped out, I have to message her later on. All right. The watch list has been posted. For those watching on YouTube, check the community tab in like 20 minutes. I'll post it up there. Let's just put this in the other groups.
So to load the TraderVate account, it normally takes what? It depends on if you're doing an ACH or like a debit or a wire, right? The deposit, it depends on which direction you take.
Yes. Also, I'm going to say something not to you, but just in general for people in general to understand, because I'll be nice. All right. So here's the difference between an ACH transfer and a wire transfer. Because I always see people saying, oh, Schwab or E-Trade or whatever sucks because it takes 4 to 5 days for my transfer to settle. I'm like, bro, do you understand that it's not Schwab, it's not E-Trade, it's none of that. It's literally how the system works. ACH is 3 to 5 business days for the transfer to fully settle. That's how it's always been. It's never changed. There are some platforms that might have less risk tolerance and give you that money up front to fully trade options with. Like for Schwab, they only let me trade regular stock that's not volatile with funds that I just put into the account. Because this is why they take 3 to 5 days to settle. When you put the money in the account, they front you that money. Let's say you put $1,000 and you buy an options trade that same day. If you lose the $1,000, that's not even in the account yet because they fronted you the cash. You can just go and cancel the transfer into the account. Now they're out of $1,000, technically, because you owe it. And if you don't pay it, then you go to collections. But anyway, that's how ACH works. 3 to 5 days for it to fully settle. If you don't want to worry about the settle time, you can send the wire from your bank into whatever brokerage that you're doing, and it'll settle the exact same day when the brokerage receives it. So, little PSA, because I get very frustrated when people, and it tells you in the app, these funds will be available to trade in 3 to 5 days. And it's like, why can't I trade? It's like, you didn't read. Like, it's literally in front of you. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Just some frustrations that I want to let people know, because the knowledge is there. And if you've been doing this for a while, there's no excuses for basic information, in my opinion. Anyway, for those watching on YouTube, to get the watch list, what you're going to do is...
You should be taking notes.
Well, that definitely take notes. So when you go to the channel, the watch list, I post it every single Sunday in the community tab. It'll look like this. Watch list for whatever, and then I just hit read more, and it'll give you all the things that we went over. I only post it publicly just for Sunday. If you want the watch list every single day, you have to be in my group or one of the groups that I support. So let's move on. Also, if you do want to join my Discord, The link is in the chat and the description of this video. And like I said, if you use the code December24, it'll give you 30% off. So you pay $24.50 one time to join. This session in and of itself today is worth more than $25, in my opinion, that people have charged a lot more money for. Anyway.
Yeah, me find it off tomorrow morning.
Exactly. So if you don't join, by the time the month ends, it'll be $25 monthly that you pay, or you can pay $24.50 one time now. So take advantage. Anyway, I'll answer one more question publicly, and then we'll go enjoy our day. 5 said he wants to day trade futures from open to like 2 or 3 hours after open, pretty much like I do, and doesn't want to hold overnight positions or mess with options until he can maintain consistency for a while before I start with those things. How many future day trades do you think present themselves in an average day? Would it be reasonable to expect to trade every day while focusing on 1 or 2 setups? I'm thinking the W model and maybe the kid in play. Fantastic question, 5. So it really depends on the month, right? Like December has been absolutely fantastic for W's. I've taken about 10 W's this month. In October, I think throughout the whole year was the lowest amount. I took maybe 3. So taking those specific trade models, you're not going to be trading every single day, which is fine, right? On average, the W prints 1 to 2 times or 2 to 3 times a week. If it's a slower month, probably 1 to 2 times a week. So during the whole month, 4 to 8 on average. If it's a really good month, like this month, it was like 10 to 15 that printed. And it also prints for those who trade London session. It prints them during London too, or for those who trade gold. Pretty much prints on most of the indices from what I've seen. But yeah, 5, just those setups. The kid in play, I maybe, how many have I taken? I don't think I've taken that many this month, maybe like 3. Nothing too crazy. Granted, I haven't really been looking for them or really paying attention too much to them, so maybe there's probably more that I've seen, and I don't trade the afternoon session. So what I would add into those 2 setups, add the TTO setup, because the TTLs will print on trend days, and we get at least 2 trend days every week. And the TTO is easy money, bullish or bearish, so you can trade both sides. How are your journaling habits? Mariah's just in here soaking up the information. Super quiet over there. It's your first time, so I'll let you slide.
I mean, my journaling's so bad, man.
Bro, first of all, hold on. Zero reason for, well, do you mean like what to journal or just like consistently journaling?
Nah, not what to journal. I just haven't journaled. For some reason, I still, till day 1, bro. Since day 1, I still haven't journaled, bro.
I'm about to go to your house and like slap you with like 3 notebooks. All right.
The funny thing is, I have a notebook filled with notes that that I when I watch videos or whatever the case might be, I journal those things. Because even last night I picked the book up. But so, as far as like taking a trade and entry, exit, time, ticker, profit, don't really journal. I've never journaled that.
So make it easy for yourself, right? I used to physically journal my trades because I'm weird in the sense that like I'll do the hardest thing first so I can reward myself with the easiest way. So I had this freaking huge journal. It's pretty much like a ledger, and I wrote all my trades, like how I have the template for you guys. I literally wrote it down every day. Super annoying, super time consuming. And then once I finished it, and once I finished the ledger, and like I emptied it out, I'm like, all right, I have graduated from this annoying task to an online journal. So all I do is I take my trade file at the end of the day, I upload it to the online trading journal, and it puts everything for me. When I got in, how much I made, how much I lost, what I traded, what price I got in, what price I got out, all that. So all I need to do is literally just type my notes. You know, today I was feeling blah blah blah, or I was feeling good, or this and that, and I took this specific setup on this specific ticker, even though it's there in the notes when you upload the file. But it saves a lot of
Right.
time. I probably spend maybe 15 minutes journaling now when I spend like 30, 40 minutes doing it. So
That's
if
that's
you
definitely what I'll be working on.
if you go
The upcoming.
to in the educational center, go to build your trading system. I use TraderSync. I use the pro version. It's $180 a year. You can sync it with specific brokers as well, so it can just sync to your platform. Then you just refresh it, and it pulls all the trades automatically. Tradefulness is a good one that it's powered by AI. If you want free ones, there's TraderView, but I think TraderView only lets you upload like 2 like trade logs in a week or something like that. Then you have to pay for more if you want. Stunk
Right.
Journal, I've never used, but that's free as well. You can upload the trades up there with the trade file, and the user interface is pretty clean from what I've seen. And I love clean interfaces. So if you don't know what to journal, the video and everything is right here for you.
Now I know what to journal is just
Let
like
me
the urge. It's like how it's a discipline thing.
100%.
It's a discipline thing. You know what I mean? So it's like I guess I'm not as disciplined as I thought I was.
Definitely. Anthony, before I answer your question, I'm going to ask you this. What time do you make most of your money? In the afternoon or in the morning time? And do you have clearly defined setups? Do you know which specific setups you're going to be looking for day in and day out? Sometimes is a problem. I'll keep on asking you more questions. Do you know the win rate of those setups, and on average how much they return profit, and on average how much they return in a loss? Ah, you got to go back to Tradeovate. That should generally be knowledge that you can pull from your head approximately. And this is why journaling is important. We need to collect a ridiculous amount. I love data, as you guys can probably tell at this point. And journaling is going to help you the most. It's going to first hold you accountable, because one, it's going to literally tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what's working, what's not working, on top of the other things that you'll be reviewing. You know, what works for you, what didn't work for you, in what ways are you improving, what did you learn, what did you mess up on, etc. So when you go through the trading system portion of the course, it'll give you everything that you need to set up a solid foundation. So journaling, you would do it forever until you stop trading. For T, start trading today. You have free options that I just showed you if you don't want to pay, or you can get TraderSync, the one that I use, and pay $180, which is nothing in an entire year. That's what, like $15 a month? Yeah, $15 a month.
All right.
So if you truly want to be better at this, you have to act like it, right? We don't work at a firm where we have a risk manager behind our back, like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, your risk is too high. Hey, if you do this, we're gonna fire you. You don't have that. It's just you. So you have to be all of those things for yourself. And journaling is one of those things that will help you hold yourself accountable, as well as these classes that I have, because I will call you out on it. I'll tell you. And my life coach, he always told me, you need to hold yourself to a higher standard, not only for myself, but for those around me, right? If you want to achieve whatever goal you want, whether that's like life stuff or like trading stuff, first you got to ask yourself, why are you doing this? I'll give you some examples of some people that have come to me, like either mothers or fathers or even parents together. They want to spend more time with their kids. So if you want to spend more time with your kids, what are you willing to do for that? And what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up being lazy and not journaling? Are you willing to start journaling every day? Are you willing to start taking this seriously and having a proper trade plan, not just gambling on earnings, right? And then once you understand what your why is, now what are you going to do to hold yourself accountable to reach that, right? There's days that I do not want to journal. I get tired, but I try to do it as soon as I can, as soon as I finish trading. But sometimes like, I don't want to do this, but you got to do it every single day until you stop trading. And then once you really understand, like I mentioned, what you want to do, then from there, so let me take a step back. Once you write down exactly why you're doing this and why you want to do it and where you want to be, on the other side, like I mentioned earlier, on the other side of the paper, you're going to write all the habits and all the disciplines that the future you has achieved that goal. And then every single day, you're going to be practicing those habits to be that version of you. Because you don't just wake up and you're like, cool, I'm a successful trader, or I reach my weight goal, or whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life, right? You need to take action to reach those steps. And that's one of the biggest things that my life coach taught me, which is really a lot of structure and hold myself accountable. Because I had no structure at all, and I was not showing up properly to reach the goals that I wanted. So hopefully that helped.
Nah, you're definitely right, bro. You're definitely right, man. Sometimes I feel like we be in denial for a lot of things that is true. Most of us don't like the truth, anyways.
Oh, 100%. That's why I noticed that some people don't like journaling because they see the truth of what's going on. Like I mentioned earlier, like I've seen it in groups. I've seen it in I see it a lot on Reddit, where people be like I told you earlier, like, oh, trading is a scam and blah 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 blah. But it's like they're like, oh, the market did this or the market did this to me. But it's like, all right, but what are you doing? Like, nobody told you to get into that trade when Jerome Powell was speaking out of all days, right? Nobody told you to full port your account on earnings. So it's a lot of lack of accountability and not being honest with yourself. And it's always easier to blame things outside of you. That way you don't have to look inwards. And trading is an entire game or entire business of looking into yourself and understanding and knowing yourself. There's a lot of things I learned about myself from trading, and a lot of things that are going to come up that you'll have to work through when it comes to trading. So, like I always say, the easiest part of trading is the technical side. That's the easiest part. You guys already know the strategy that I trade. I trade the strat. Everything is in the Discord. Everything is on the YouTube channel. But the most challenging part is the mental side, which, fun fact, something that I love to take note of. I was looking at the strat section. Let me go here. I was looking at my views for the strategy. Yo, Mike, what's up? I was looking at the strategy section of my YouTube channel. Where is this? The strat video has over 10,000 views and then it kind of drops off. But on average, everything here has a lot of views. The strategy part. Now, let's go to the psychology part and building your trading system part of the YouTube channel. And what I find hilarious is that there's a lot of things here that people don't look at. Risk management, they pay attention to, which is lovely. I'm glad for that. And journaling has been getting up there, thankfully. But a lot of these things that can help you on the mentality side of trading, people avoid. And I'm like, that's the biggest thing. Because, like I said, if you don't have the discipline or the mental capacity or mindset to really execute the strategy efficiently, then it doesn't matter. You can know the best strategy of all time. And what happens, I'll try not to butcher this and make it make sense. I was watching this Alex Hormozy video where he sees people that when they're like starting a business or something, when things are getting hard in the business or in their business, they start looking for something new to do. And then it's like, all right, cool, something new. This is easy. And then once it gets hard again, they go to something else. So with trading, people find a strategy, they don't really get consistent, and then they're like, this strategy sucks. Let me go to a new one. And they stay in the cycle of getting new strategies over and over and over and never settle on one. But it's like there's going to be a point that you're going to hit a roadblock. And that's normal, right? It took me 2 years to refine the strat to how I like it and how I trade it now. And granted, I give you guys the foundation that works for me, that can work for you. And, you're more than welcome to refine it in whatever way that works better for you compared to me. So when things get challenging, especially with a strategy, ask questions. Because there's people in 100K's group, in my original mentors group where I learned the strat from, they're still struggling to this day, 2 years later, struggling with the strat. I'm like, how? The strat is the easiest strategy of all time. But what they didn't learn or spend time on is the mental side. Still doing the same things, over leveraging, revenge trading, all of that stuff, and never spent time to develop that. And that is the most challenging part. So I'm preaching to the choir now. I'll keep it there. Any last things you guys want to talk about before we wrap up? I have a session soon, so I want to get ready for that. Do I live trade? Hey, welcome, Trader Joe. I know that you're new here. I live trade every Tuesday and Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern time. Every Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes I'll live trade the other days, but I tend to get distracted because people ask me questions and people start talking and it gets distracting for me. And I would miss setups because of that. Again, you can definitely ask me questions when we're on live, but I like to trade by myself for the most part. Of course. All right.
With a $2,500 account on NQ, it's best to only trade one contract, correct?
Bro, why are you? I hate NQ so bad. Like, I get it. It's volatile. It's great. Trust me. Young money will never let you down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
or RTY. RTY is the most relaxed of the four major
Right.
one. YM is like to me, it's a good balance between like NQ and ES, where it moves well, but the pullbacks aren't as detrimental as NQ. But that's what works for me. If NQ works for you, do it. I just like to relax and not get a 80-point pullback on NQ. So
Yeah, NQ is very aggressive, man.
it definitely is.
But one contract is because for NQ is $1,000 per account, right?
I think so on Trade-Evate. Let's check. Where is this? Where are the margin requirements? All right, let's see what they currently are. And these rates, they vary depending if the market gets volatile or not. So NQ right now is $1,000 for one contract.
Right.
YM is 500. For 2,500, I'll probably maximum, I'll use one YM. Since all my setups have like clearly defined losses, that's about 10 trades before the account is blown if I lose 10 trades in a row.
Right.
And the others are pretty chill. All right. I will see you guys. Oh, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the swing trading class. So 2 hours a day? My bad, I got distracted. So swing trading class tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time for those in the group. The Zoom link is attached to the event. So if you haven't already, it'll be there. I'll also probably post it myself since some people don't know how to navigate the Discord just yet. But it'll be there, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you can't attend, it'll be recorded. But I prefer you guys to attend so you can ask me questions that I may have missed during the presentation. But other than that, thank you guys for coming out. And I will see you guys on the internet. Thank you, YouTube people, for asking your questions and coming out as well. I will see you guys soon. And good night. Well, good morning, not good night. Anyway, I'll see you guys. All right.
All right, bro. Be good.